What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? It's your Shay, and I'm back with another freaking video, y'all. Now, this video is mainly going to just be talking about trying to stay safe, and kind of just like watch your surroundings. And I don't know if I'm going to say the restaurant that I was working at, but for some reason, this restaurant keeps popping up in a lot of women's situations. I'm not sure if they have a connection or something going on. But let's just go ahead and tell my story time and see. I'm not going to say the restaurant because I don't want to get like sued. And it's like, this is a very popular place. Okay. So let's just go ahead and start this video. Okay. So, your girl had literally just graduated high school and I started my first job. Now, I think I spoke about it in another video before. I don't know what video, so I can't sit there and tell you. But I've always spoke about what my first job was. So just remember, I always said like my first job was a fast food place. And I don't know. I feel like maybe it's tied to it. I'm not sure. It's probably not. But to me, now, after thinking about some stuff today, it's probably tied to it. But anyways, like I said, I was fresh out of high school. I started this job. I was working at a fast food place. And I remember hearing some stuff that happened with two girls that were there. One girl had took her to the bay, you know.
Okay.
We're going to get, you know what? That's just, we're going to go back to that. We're going to go back to that. Anyways, I remember being on social media. I think it was Instagram. And there was a guy who graduated 2 years earlier than me. So I guess I was a sophomore. He was a senior. But so at this point, I had graduated. And I remember seeing him. But I'm like, okay, glow up. Okay, like he's now posting pictures in like designer clothes. Okay, like he's showing all his stuff. And then he's also showing him shopping. Okay, he's usually always shopping. And he was just showing like bags. When I tell you he had bags, like he was holding bags of Gucci, bags of Versace. Like when I say he had that shmoney, I'm like, what, baby, what job he get? What job he get? You know, but I've never been the type of girl to like, you know, come on to a guy or like try to shoot my shot to a man. Like I've just never been that type of person. But I remember I just liked it. I liked it a few pictures. And guess what? Like literally the next day, he DM'd me and he was like, hey, didn't you go to McNair High School? I'm like, yeah, I did. I remember you. I remember seeing you. He was like, oh, we should meet up or we should kick it sometime. And I'm like, got him, you know? I was like, okay, got him. Okay, he's cute. And on top of that, like, he got that shmonies, you know? He got money. He got money. So, my bad, y'all. I had to take off my jacket. But yeah, I'm like, okay, he got smoney's, you know, he got smoney's. I was in a relationship, but at that point, like, you know how you kind of get sick of somebody, and I'm going to say it all the time. When I was 18, I was dealing with somebody, at the age of 17, and we were together all the way, I think, until 19, and 19, I ended up getting pregnant by my husband now. But I was technically still with him, but he just kept cheating. And I'm like, okay, you're cheating and there's a man who's DMing me with smoney's. Meanwhile, I'm paying for everything. And I'm, you know, you're cheating constantly and I'm paying for you to. So I was just like kind of over it. And I'm like, okay, well, if he want to kick it, like, let's kick it. So one day he did hit me up like, hey, what are you doing today? And I'm like, oh, I'm nothing. I'm just sitting at the house. He was like, let me slide through. So I did. I sent him the address or whatever. So we in the car and I'm like, boom, you got a nice whip. You got a nice car. That's my car right there. He's like, okay, that's a nice car. Okay, what do you do? He's like, what do you do? What have you been doing since, you know, high school? And I'm like, oh, I do got a little job. You know, I work at that little fast food place right down the street. And he was like, oh, cool. He like, matter of fact, I'm hungry. Let's go over there real quick. Do you want something? I'm like, oh, no, thank you. You know, since I work there, baby, I get free food every day. I get employee meals all the time. Like, I just don't want it, okay? But when we go through the drive-thru, I should have known, or I don't know, he knew some of the workers there. You know what I'm saying? He knew some of the workers, and he was playing with his money. I remember he got like a nugget meal or whatever. He gave her the money, but he was holding on to it, and he's trying to hide his face, and then once he pulled out showed his face, she started laughing and stuff like that, and then she was like, oh, it's you. I should have known it's you. So he knew some girls that worked at the place. You know, he worked at the restaurant. Anyways, we're sitting there, we're talking, we just conversating. At this point, I feel like we're getting to know each other. This is just me at first. I didn't think about it until later on, but we're just conversating and talking, and I'm like, okay, we feeling each other, okay. And so he immediately jumps into, like, he's not saying first date, like, let's go, you know, out to eat or let's go to the movies or anything like that. He just like, let me sit y'all down because my arm's starting to hurt. Okay, boom. He just like, oh baby, I got money. And I'm like, I've been seeing you post. I was like, what do you do? What do you do? He's telling me that he does some tech stuff. He usually puts things together and stuff like that. He's really smart, but he travels to Vegas a lot. That's what he's telling me. He travels to Vegas a lot, and a lot of his stuff is in Vegas. So he was asking me like, what do he's like, do you want to go out there with me? Stay out there with me for a couple days while I do some jobs and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay, so you do Vegas stuff. Okay, but why don't you do it out here? Like, you live out here. He was like, oh, I do the same stuff in the Bay Area, but like my main clients and stuff like that is in Vegas. So I'm kind of confused. I'm like, okay, Vegas is a good 6-7 hour drive. It's a good about 6. It's not no 7. Yeah, it could be 7. Okay, it's about a 6+ hour drive. So I'm like, why do you live here? But you do your main job is in Vegas. Why don't you just move to Vegas? Like, I'm just kind of confused on what we talk. Like, I'm kind of confused. But you do it in the Bay Area too. So I'm like, okay, okay. Well, he said he makes his money. He makes like 10 times more. He's like, okay, look, I could do one job. But he not telling me the job, but he kept telling me he was tech savvy. So in my head, I'm thinking that he does a lot of tech stuff, you know? But he just like, yeah, when I go to the Bay Area, sometimes I probably can make, you know, this was way back then too. So I feel like money is just different now. But he would just like, I could make me a good, you know, 1,200 or so. But he's like, if I go to Vegas, sometimes I'm pulling 4-5 racks a day. He's like, I'm letting you know, a day in Vegas. Like, that's where the money's at. And I think this is kind of where he didn't want to take me to Vegas no more. But he kept pushing, like, I want you to come with me. Like, come with me. And in my head, I'm kind of like, I never even had a man at this point. I never had a man take me to the movies. Let alone, you just want to just take me to Vegas for a couple days. And it's just kind of like, why? But I feel like this is kind of what scared him away. Because at first he was like pushing it on me. Like, yeah, I want you to come to Vegas. I want us to have a real I want to show you around. I want to show you life and in Vegas. He kept pushing it. And then I was just like, oh, you know what? I got family out there. He's like, oh, you got family? I'm like, yeah, I got family out there. My big brother's out there, and I plan on moving out there anyways. So, I mean, like, maybe you could show me around. Like, I've been out there a bunch of times, but every time I ever go, I go to like little places. I go to like circus, like the regular schmegular stuff, right? Like, I'm still young. I still haven't went to clubs yet at all. Like, you know, show me around in Vegas. He was like, okay, yeah, cool. We could do that. You know, I'll hit you up later. So I'm like, boom, I might have me a little schmanza money. I'm so used to this cheating, broke man that's been playing with me forever. I'm about to get a man with some money. It's like, first date is a trip to Vegas for a couple of days. You know, that's what, just like, boom. So I remember I was talking to my friend. I said, girl, guess who came by? I actually said his name. I don't want to say his real name right now. I'm gonna say Michael. Boom, I'm gonna say Michael. I'm like, girl, guess who I've been talking to? You're just never gonna guess. And she's like, who? So I said, girl, Michael. And she was like, oh, okay. But just her sound when she said it, she was like, oh, okay. But she didn't want to say nothing. I'm like, what? Like, what's wrong with Michael? She was just like, girl, I'm just saying watch out for him. But it kind of irritated me later on when I found out everything that I found out, because I'm like, girl, why didn't you just say something? Why, like, were you going to let that happen to me? Like, anyways, some time go by, and he was telling me, like, he was texting me sometimes, but he was also saying, like, hey, if we ever go to Vegas, like, I want me and you to be in Vegas. I don't want you, like, contacting your family and stuff while we're out there that lives out there. He was like, I just want you to enjoy your time with me. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I will let my family know, like, hey, I'm out here, but I'm not going to, I'm just going out with you. I'm going on a date with you for a couple of days. But then that's also in my head, I kept saying, like, who goes on a date? Like, I kept thinking he just had so much money. Like, Gucci, Versace, and a date is going to Vegas for a week. Like, what? I just couldn't get that out of my head. I'm like, OMG, your girl hit it big. He got a nice car. He got money. Boom. I just got a big, and I'm about to just go leave this little man. Boom, boom. Right. So not too long after, like I say, I'm working at this fast food place. And while I'm working at this fast food place, y'all, I get to work a couple days after that guy, right? And everybody's like, girl, you weren't here the other day. They was fighting up in here. I'm like, what's that? Like, they telling me like, oh yeah, this girl and this girl is fighting because one of the girls, Sarah took Jenny to the Bay Area. And they was always so cool. They was always so fun and friendly and stuff at work. So Sarah was like, hey, come to the Bay Area with me. And she's like, when she took her to the Bay Area, she tried to have her thing. Like they try to, I'm like, oh, they try to like sexual assault her. And she was like, no. She tried to sell her. But Jenny was like, no. Jenny was like, heck no, you ain't selling me. I don't do that. I didn't know you did that. Like, girl, like, what? And they left her. They left her stranded in the Bay Area, and her family had to go get her. She had to contact family. Her family went and got her. And the guy tried to take advantage and stuff of her. And y'all, when she had got back to our city, which was Stockton, she walked into our job and tried to fight the girl who took her out there in the first place. Like, I understand if that's your lifestyle, girl, that's your lifestyle. Don't have me, especially if you don't have me go out, like, talk to me, like, be a friend. Tell me, like, hey girl, this is what we do. This is how you get some monies on the side, and let me make that option. Don't take me out there and put me in a man's face. And then when I say no, leave me out there. Like, you don't know what could have happened to me. So they started to fight at work. Y'all, and I'm like, man, I missed it. And in the midst of that, I remember I did speak to the girl who they said left her in the Bay Area. And she was like, yeah, she got me messed up. Her and Michael. And I'm like, oh, I'm talking to the guy named Michael. But I never put two and two together. Right? So at this point, time has went by, and Michael keeps trying to like tell me, like, let's go. Like, when we going this weekend. Like, let's go. But like I said, I was dealing with, I guess it's probably a good thing that I was in a relationship, even though it was toxic, even though it was horrible, that I did not go. Because if I was not with him, I probably would have went. And who knows what situation I would have been in. I don't think I would have stepped into that lifestyle. But I don't know. You never know what goes on with the world. I don't think that's just not my cup of tea. I don't do that. But I had friends, and I have friends to this day that still do that. And I'm just like, okay, like, keep it away from me. I love you to death. I've loved you since elementary. Like, we're really cool, and I would not look at you differently. If that's what you do, that's what you do, and that ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay. But I had friends who did stuff like that, and I never looked at them no different. Just, baby, keep it away from me. Keep it away from me. And then at that time, I was hearing like crazy stories of things happening to friends that was doing stuff. But long story short, I swear it all happened around the same time, because I remember that after that crazy stuff happened, so you know how like you had just graduated high school and you're starting to, you still talk to new friends, like you're talking to new friends, but you still dibble and dabble and talking to old friends. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm talking to somebody. I think it's Samantha or something. I forgot who I was speaking to. But I remember I was like, yeah, girl, he keep trying to force me, but I don't know if I should go because of my man. Like, I don't want my man to be like, okay, you're going for a couple days. Yeah, I could go on a date. I know that. I could go on a date and he would never know. But I'm gone for a week. Like, how am I going to let my man know? So I'm talking to friends trying to figure out, like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to sneak off to Vegas to go be with this guy for a week and not let my man know? But at the same time, I should say forget him, because at the end of the day, he keeps cheating on me. That's the only reason why I'm even in the situation right now. If he wouldn't have ever even cheated on me, I probably wouldn't even contacted the dude, or the dude wouldn't have ever contact. If he did contact me, I wouldn't have not like responded. He would have never came to my house. We would have never met in the car that day regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling her, and she's just like, girl, I don't know if you should deal with him, because I'm not sure if he really trying to mess with you, or if he trying to take you out there, because I know 2-3 of my friends who do the do, and they actually do prostitute out there. And they don't do it out here because they have too much family out here. So they go out there and they make their monies out there. And I'm like, girl, no, he told me he do like, tech and stuff like that. She was just like, who? I'm like, I said the name. I'm like, Michael, he do tech and stuff. Like since after high school, he started getting into tech. She was like, girl, I know what that man do. I'm telling you, he runs with the same crew that just does bad things. Okay. And I've known they done bad things to women. And as far as I know, I'm not sure if he works with our friend, but a few of our friends go to Vegas, and some of them are even going to move out there because they get some monies out there from, prostituting. And so I'm like, what? You are lying. You are lying. And I really don't want to tell this story about my friend, but I might as well go ahead and say it, because I don't know how else to talk about it. But I remember I got back on the phone. Yeah, I might as well go ahead and say it in the story. I got back on the phone with my friend, and she was like, the one that didn't want to tell me anything in the beginning. I'm like, okay, girl, like what? Like, I heard some stuff about Michael, and I'm just kind of confused. Like, I want to know if I should go or if I shouldn't go. You tell me, like, be careful with him. Do you know something? And she was just like, okay, let me be honest with you. One day I'm with my man. She's like, at least I thought it was my man. I thought it was my man. We was together for a couple days, and I thought he was just on some freaky stuff. He was like, meet me in the bathroom. So I met him in the bathroom, and we started doing the whoop-de-whoop, right? She was just like, literally, right when we're almost done, he backed up and unlocked the door, and 5-6 other guys come in. And she was like, I was so scared. I was so scared to where I didn't want to run. I didn't want to do anything. I just felt like if I did anything, that now there's all these guys in the bathroom with me. So I just bent over and let them do what they did. Like, that's it. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm like, girl, why would you even want me to be with the man who did something like that to you? You know what I'm saying? There's a bigger story on that. I could literally tell y'all a whole nother story time. But it was that after she said that, I'm just like, why? Like, girl. And then I'm telling you, I'm talking to this guy. I'm telling you, I might go. Why would you even let me? I would never let you go out, or at least I will always warn you, like, hey, I dealt with that man, and this man is not a good guy. Like, why would you not say anything? Why would you not say anything? So literally, like I said, he's been texting me. He's been on me. He's been like, when are we going? When are we going? When are we going? Let's go this week. Let's go that week. Let's go da da da. And I told him, I was just like, okay. No, I said no or something. He told me to take him somewhere or something in my car. But he had a vehicle, and I was like, no, I'm good, because I just heard that you did that to my friend. Like, I was like, no, I'm good. And so then, I ain't gonna lie, I hit him up not too long after. And I'm like, hey, I need you to do something to my car, because he said he was tech savvy and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, my radio stopped working in my car. So I'm like, hey, what's up? I need you to fix my car. He's like, no, I'm good. Just like I said, no, I'm good when he asked for it. And I was like, okay, it's vice versa. He mad because I said, no, I'm good. And so then I was just like, and I know what you do in Vegas. And he was just like, yeah, and you should have known that I was going to sell you for top dollar. And that was the last time I've heard from him. He blocked me on Instagram. And I've never spoke to him since, but I kid you not, I've had people who went to work at the same fast food restaurant 10 years after me. And I found out that they're in the Bay Area doing that. And they're in Las Vegas doing that. So I'm just kind of like, is this fast food? Is they doing it at the fast food restaurant? Like, they just find pretty young girls, because that's usually the first job you get. That's usually the first job you get. Everybody's like first job is like McDonald's, Chili's. Like, it's always something like, it's always something, a restaurant. You know, it's usually always a restaurant. It's crazy. And men are finding young girls and they're turning them into just OMG, and it's crazy. And I have so many stories of women that this happened to. And the only reason why this is in my head right now is because I literally was just on YouTube and I was listening to people's testimonies and how they changed their life and what they used to do. And it was a girl that this happened to in the Bay Area. And I'm like, man, OMG. It's like, because we live like an hour away from the Bay Area. So I just feel like, I don't know if they come out here and bring people out there, or if they just I don't know what it is. But what I'm going to say is be careful. Be kind of safe when you're with these men, especially if a man is not even going to try to take you on a real date. If he just immediately like, oh, no, I take trips, baby. I got too much money. I take trips. And all of a sudden just want to take you on a trip, and you ain't even been to the movies with this man. You ain't went and had no wings or nothing. You ain't sat down at a park with this man. Y'all literally got in the car. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Come to Vegas with me. Baby, know that that's a sign. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Come to the Bay with me. I don't know, because I also know people who's like, I love going on dates in Frisco. So I know that. I know a man who only likes to go on dates in Frisco, but that then I'll be a date. You know what I'm saying? But don't just sit there. I don't know. Just watch out for these men and kind of watch the way they move. And also, if you constantly keep hearing about a situation, constantly keep hearing about, boom, this is happening, and then in a certain place, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're kind of exposed to it or around it, or you hear something about it, just like speak up and say something. But that was just the time I thought I almost had me a good guy with some smoney's, and he tried to take me to Vegas and sell me, y'all. He tried to take me to Vegas and sell me. I hope that I got the story out right, because I feel like I just kind of just talked about it, just kind of randomly threw stuff out there. But it was literally, it all happened within like a month of each other. And it was just kind of crazy how like, boom, this happened at work. Boom, like, oh no, boom, I talked to him, met up with him. He kept bringing up Vegas and Bay Area, Vegas, Bay Area. And then boom, that happened at work with two co-workers fighting because of something that happened in the Bay Area. And then boom, I talked to this friend. She was like, yeah, I do go to, I go to Vegas and sell my boom, boom, boom. And I know that guy, and then it's like, talked to another friend, and she's like, yeah, he actually did this to me not too long ago, so watch out for him. Like, sometimes things, I tell you, it happens in a weird way, but just watch out for it. You know what I'm saying? That's going to end this video here. Catch you in the next one. See you later. Bye.